How much do some of the big name franchises cost to open, and can you actually afford one? Today, we are going to look at actual costs of starting a franchise today on Franchise City. So the numbers we're sharing today are actual figures of how much it costs to open these franchises, ranging from the lowest to the highest amount that buyers paid to get these franchises off the ground. Now, at only a $10,000 investment, Chick-fil-A has skewed a lot of people's perceptions of how much franchises actually cost. But Chick-fil-A, as you probably know, it's a very different model from other brands. We did a video on them a while back. I'll place the link to that above on how Chick-fil-A works. So let's start with the big names. If you want to own a McDonald's, total investment is going to range between $1.4 to $2.6 million. Keep in mind, these numbers we are showing today do not include buying the real estate. So why, if I'm not buying real estate, am I paying millions of dollars? Well, I'm going to place the breakdown of the startup costs up on the screen for each of these brands. And in most cases, you are actually renting your location from McDonald's corporate. Now, for that reason, many people have suggested McDonald's is more of a real estate company than a burger company. Starting a Subway franchise, there are much lower investments, going to cost you between $238,000 to $536,000. Again, the cost breakdown is up on your screen. Subway, we covered this as well, recently acquired by a private equity firm. They paid $9.6 billion for the Subway system. Now, note, Subway has closed over 2,000 locations over the past 3 years. That slowed down a bit. Looks like they're trending in the right direction, but they are still closing stores. Wingstop, as you know, famous owner Rick Ross is in their ranks. He owns about 30 locations. A lot of people think he owns the entire franchise. No, he owns about 30 locations. We did a video on what famous celebrities own which franchises. I'll place the link to that above. A single Wingstop location is going to cost you between $259,000 to $912,000 to open, and Wingstop has been opening just under about 200 locations a year over the past 3 years. But you will notice, compared to McDonald's and Subway, they have a lot fewer overall locations. And often with highly established brands, we see a market saturation point when most prime territories are gone and franchises are competing with many other local restaurants in the system. Buying the biggest franchise isn't always the best option. So that's a few in the food space. Let's take a look at Planet Fitness, the brand that just came under fire recently for their change room policies, for better or worse, and we did a video on that. I'll place the link above. Now, if you buy your gym equipment, it's going to cost you between $2.3 to $5.1 million, and that number is lower if you lease your equipment. That number between $1.4 to $3.7 million. Now, Planet Fitness, they've also been opening locations over the past few years, but it's going to be interesting to see how that controversial publicity has affected their franchise sales. We'll take a look next year when their disclosure document is available. Now, for people who want a fitness franchise, but they lack the millions of dollars, there are lower-priced alternatives like mobile fitness or smaller studios that are starting at around $100,000. To open a Dunkin' franchise ranges between $210,000 to $1.8 million, but keep in mind the lower numbers in these cases generally represent unique scenarios, right? It's usually a conversion from an existing donut shop. So your investment is likely to be much higher, probably closer to the $1 million range or above. Domino's, between $156,000 to $743,000 for a traditional store. 7-Eleven franchise, they've got a different ownership model. So you actually only pay the franchise fee, and then corporate handles the majority of other startup costs. Franchise fee for 7-Eleven ranging between $50,000 to $750,000, but you're going to be sharing around 50% or more of your gross profits with the company. We covered how that works, the 7-Eleven franchise, and I will place that link above. Another popular brand, the UPS store, in their new laser light design, that's going to set you back between $209,000 to $495,000 to open a store. Orange Theory Fitness, $613,000 to $1.6 million. And Remax Realty, yes, they are a franchise. A lot of people don't know that. $44,000 to $241,000 to open up an office. Most franchises also have a net worth requirement in addition to the investment amount that for legacy brands can be $1 million or a couple of $1 million or even more in some situations. If you have a lower budget, there are many non-retail franchises for around $100,000 or even less that can actually, in some cases, equal or even make more profit than the big names. We missed your brand. You want to know how much a specific franchise costs or makes? Feel free to leave a comment. We will try and answer. Or for help finding the best franchise, give the experts at Franchise City a call. I'll place that link above. Thank you for watching.